I don't think I do it.
But Arsenal started like house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. You'd have probably already heard my ramblings over on One Leeds. Big up to Connor for getting me on the channel. Thank you for that, brother. I obviously wanted to give my reaction. Honestly, I'm worried. I'm genuinely worried about our Premier League survival at this stage. I think they've risked it for a chocolate biscuit. They've done it before. Listen, you can't do this in the Premier League. They've not. You can't continue to. You know, the owner of. There is so much I've got to say. There's so much I've got to say. You know, and all these people that say, "What a surprise, Joe negative." You haven't watched long enough. The club have brought me to this. You know what I mean? The ownership have brought me to this. I'm so dejected. Like, they're just risking our Premier League survival. And the worry is, I don't know if we come straight back up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what would happen. Would there be a fire sale, etc.? I genuinely, I know there's a long way to go, folks. Yeah, I know there's a long way to go. But, and yeah, Chris, on the money, my man. On the money, my man. If you're free, Chris, I'll send you the link. We can have a chat, bro. Just drop me a WhatsApp. It'd be good to get your thoughts on it. I do feel sorry for Skubz, and you know how like emotional I can be, and how reactionary I can be. And had Skubz have beat Man United, I'd be going, oh yeah, give it me to the end of the season. And I've probably said that on previous videos. But when you actually sit back and think about it, like and try to be objective, it's not the right decision. It's not the right decision. I feel like I'm doing him a disservice. I feel like I'm being out of line with regards to Skubala, because I really like him. You know, his press conference is Thursday, and that'll be good. Because I like him, you know what I mean. But I just don't. I don't think he's got the credentials, if I'm honest. Are you any more worried than giving Jesse longer? Listen, Jesse was taking us down regardless, right? You're never going to get me to say, if that's what you want, Ishita, because I know you come on and talk about Bielsa all the time. You're never going to get me to say that Bielsa's a bad manager, and you're never going to get me to support Jesse, so you might as well pack it in, pal. You're wasting your time. He was taking us down. But what's more frustrating is we're sort of in the same place. Do you know what I mean? When we were all buoyant after Jesse went. The majority of the fan base was anyway. You know, they were fighting in the stands, for God's sake. They were saying, you know, they were fighting in the stands. They were saying, get him out, get him out. Everyone was sound. We've now had to wait 9 days. 9 days, there or thereabouts, for us not to get anyone in. It just stinks, man. It stinks. And it's all on the three amigos. It's all on the three amigos. Radrazani, Orta, and Kinnear. It's all on them three. It's a joke. I feel sorry for Skubala, because they've left that statement open-ended. The reason they've left it open-ended is if he gets beat by Everton, they'll push the button. And they'll get someone in. And that's not fair on him. If you're going to give it him, stand by your conviction and say he is here till the end of the season. But they're giving us bullshit saying, oh, you know, welcome Bamba Dieng while we continue to work on Gakpo. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know, welcome support Skubz, which we will. Which I will, but support Skubz until it goes tits up. Then we'll bring someone in and get our money out. Listen, it could come off, and Skubz will get it to the end of the season. Then they get Iriola. But I'm very much 70-30 in the side of it not coming off. to be honest. How can you expect Skubala to come in and keep us up? Like the pressure the man's got to deal with. And no disrespect, if you watched his press conference, the very first one, he don't really want the job. I don't think he really wants the job. That might change on Thursday and say, yeah, I can do a job, da-da-da-da-da. The club don't really want him. The club were ready, right? The club were ready. This is what I'm saying when people are saying you panic in the club. I don't know why people have faith in them. When they're saying, oh, I'd rather they didn't rush a decision, all that BS that you believe from them. I don't know why you have faith in them. I genuinely don't. I scratch my head. Why are people having faith in the board? Because they were ready to appoint the Dutch Jesse Marsh. They were ready to appoint Schrodinger's cat and his brother, Dick Schrodinger. You know what I mean? They were ready to bring him in. And people are saying, oh, you want Nuno, you're panicking. Yeah, because they're panicking. They're panicking. And rather than pay, because by all accounts, Duncan Castle, I'm not saying he's correct by any stretch of the imagination. He's got a lot wrong. But by all accounts, Leeds United have interviewed Nuno, have interviewed another guy over in Saudi Arabia. And after them interviews, and probably the price it's going to cost them to get Nuno, they've gone, yeah, just give it Skubala. You know, instead of buying a midfielder under Bielsa, they went, yeah, just give it Forshaw. Instead of buying a left back in the summer, they've gone, yeah, just give it our potential, you know, best left-sided centre-back and put him back, you know, probably a year's development, you know, just do that. You know, I'll forget getting someone similar to Bamford. Let's go splurge 30 million on someone. I don't know. Yeah. Not even getting a striker actually in the summer. Not even getting a striker in the summer with a left back, knowing that at that point Bamford had trained about 4 times last season. Nah, just leave it. Just leave it. Do you know what I mean? It's mental. It is mental. I'm angry. I'm down. I'm disappointed. And I just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, the wood through the trees, whatever adjective you want to throw at it. I just can't see it. I think they've put us in a proper precarious position, and also Skubz. Do you know what I mean? I feel sorry for him. And if we lose to Everton, God, can you imagine? I think if Everton beat us, they'll probably get someone in then. But why wait? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you gambling? This isn't the casino. Do you know what I mean? This isn't the casino. Someone said to me earlier, it's like it's like a CEO, you know, you've got a top company and they just employ an advisor as the CEO. You know, someone off the shop floor. Yeah, I get you sending. And again, let me just clarify. I want Skubala to do well. I really like the man, but it's so risky. It's so risky. Mr. Stamp, do one, brother. Because guess what? I don't give 2 hoots. This isn't about... I hate when people say, just back the team. Back the team. Yeah, I will back the team. I do back the team. I'm just being realistic and giving you my opinion. Now, that's what you come for, right? And my opinion is at this moment in time, they've put us in a really, really bad position. Especially when you consider they said we were never in a relegation battle. And if I'm honest, at this point, I think we're going down. I do think we're going down. And it's brutal, because after the sacking of Jesse, it shouldn't be like this. It should not be like this. I look at the rest of the managers in and around that bottom 6, yeah. Nottingham Forest have got Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper's a top coach. Don't get me wrong, I think they'll be down there, but I think he keeps them up. Wolves have got Lopetegui. Up they go. West Ham have got David Moyes. I suppose the only hope we have is if they push the button on David Moyes. Maybe they push the button on David Moyes. Everton have got Dyche. And then your three for me is Marsh at Southampton, Gary O'Neill at Bournemouth, and Mike Skubala at Leeds. I hope I'm wrong. And please don't take this as me saying Mike Skubala can't do a top job. I'm not saying that. I just think it's too risky. I hope and pray that he wins the next two. And then I can say, do you know what? They got it right. But what I will say, I still don't think they deserve credit at that point. I'm coming, Chris. I'm coming. You're going to hear from Chris. I'm just on a roll. I see you, bro. I see you. I'm coming. I still will not back them, even if this does somehow work, because they've done it with no real due diligence. The facts are, and if anyone says to me, oh, you said this, you said that, the facts are they didn't want him. They got turned out. We're being turned down by about 5 fecking managers. So let's not give them credit for this if it comes off. They don't deserve it. I'm sorry, they don't. Remember Victor Orta against Bournemouth? Sack of the board, sack of the board. We haven't won a game since because we came back from 3-0 down against Bournemouth. And Bournemouth are 19th. And also Bournemouth had none of the new signings. They were moving with bloody what's-his-face up top, who said he was going to knock England out at World Cup, even though he's an Englishman. What's-his-face? Kiefer Moore, championship striker, if ever there was one. 3-0 up they were at Ellen Road. Sack of the board, he said. Remember at the end of the season at Brentford after Newcastle basically sent Burnley down and Rafinha kept us up, even from right wing back, taking long throws. Anyway, he took Marsh over. He took Marsh over to the away support and were pointing at him. Yeah. The ego is just... The ego's insane. Because this is what I don't get as well, is like... We were speaking to Marsh. We were speaking to Marsh for months, even years, apparently. You know what I mean? He was always on the list. He'd already agreed to take over Leeds at the end of the season, but they had to move it forward, right? Why there's been no due diligence about managers coming in? Because Victor believed it would go right no matter what, so didn't he bother? That's the way I see it. And now we've found ourselves in a situation where we've got no one. We've got no one, and now we're having to say to a guy, look, he's a futsal coach, man. Again, I feel like I'm doing him a disservice, but I'm just being real here. He was a futsal coach. He was a PE teacher. We used to mock Man United, saying they've got a PE teacher in charge, when in actual fact, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won the lot. And as much as we hate to say it, he worked under one of the best managers there ever been. So at least he has something, whereas Skubz actually was a PE teacher. Do you know what I mean? Mad. Yeah, it's not even about being right on this one, bro. I understand it. Yeah, listen, if he wins, then amazing. But I won't give the board credit for it. Skubala will get all the credit. The players will get all the credit. But I wonder what the players think. Penny for their thoughts. It might help galvanise them, but they must think, fucking hell, man. The 49ers must be spitting feathers. The 49ers must be thinking, what are they doing with our investment? What about the money that we've agreed to pay for Rutter over so many years? What about all this? And these guys are just going to give it this dude. I feel bad saying dude, but you know, this is where it's coming from. It's total negligence, gambling with our Premier League status. It's madness, man. It's madness. Yeah, Jody, the Cowleys might have been PE teachers, but this is the Premier League. They went to Huddersfield and bombed, didn't they, the Cowley brothers? This is the Premier League. Nah. It's mental, isn't it? It's mental. Some people think that 49ers will do one. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. I'm just so down right now. But let's hear from someone else. I'm gonna get Chris in. I'm gonna send him the link and see what he's got to say about the matter. I was supposed to be watching, the Champions League tonight, chilling out. But obviously that's gone tits up. I've sent Chris the link. He'll jump in a second and see what he's got to say about it. Big up Lewis. He says, mate, you're going to end up with no hair if you carry on. God, yeah, I know. No, but Bowie, there's levels of gambling, isn't there? There's levels of gambling. There's having a hand of, 4 aces, and there's having a hand of, a pair of 2s. Do you know what I mean? There's levels to gambling. And basically, I'm sorry to say, Skubala is a pair of 2s, whereas someone, as much as you hate his style, like a Nuno, is maybe a flush. Maybe not a royal flush, maybe not, thingy, but it's everything is a gamble. I do agree with you, but there's levels, isn't there? Yeah, it's official, Mark Ryde. Before I bring Kiss, it is Valentine's Day. Before I bring Chris in, I'm just going to quickly share the official statement from Leeds United, and then we'll get Chris in and hear his thoughts. So this is the statement here. Mike Skubala and staff to continue in charge. Leeds can confirm Mike Skubala will continue to lead the men's first team for the club's upcoming fixtures. Again, I just say, if you're going to give him to end of the season. Gallardo, Chris Armas will carry on supporting Michael alongside the backroom team. They've overseen 2 positive performances against Man United and will lead training ahead of this weekend's Premier League game. Skubala said, I've really enjoyed the experience, and the team and staff have responded as well. I know I speak for Paco and Chris when I say it's an honour to be on the touchline. We'll continue to work tirelessly to help push us up the table in the short term while the board focus on the long-term future of the club. So there is the official statement, if you like. But let's hear from my good friend, Mr. Chris Kelly. How are you feeling, bro?
I've got to laugh, mate. I've got to laugh, because if I don't, I'm not going to cry. I'm likely to completely lose my head. Absolute bunch of shysters at the top of this club, man. Chances, whatever word you want to use for him. Orta, Rads, Kinnear, let's name them personally. Mooney, another one. Too big for his own boots. Get on with your jobs. Stop giving it Billy Big Bollocks to the fans, whether it be online or in the ground, giving it all this. And get on with your jobs. And it's just pathetic. And, I agree with you, mate. This isn't on Skubz. I feel sorry for Skubz. They're basically thrown a lamb to the wolves with the slight chance that it might come off. And it's not through any planning of theirs or thinking he's a good option. They've absolutely shot themselves in the foot. So I agree with you. If he pulls it off, fair play to him and fair play to the players.
Yeah.
The board come out of this
nothing
with no credit either way. None. The 49ers, for me, the fact that the deal was meant to be signed a week ago, has gone back to the summer, says to me that if we go down...
Oh, really? Is this official? Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, as official as it ever gets with this thing, mate, yeah. It's been pushed back to the summer. For me, if relegation comes, they're out. They're see, too much of a financial burden for them to try and get us back, which we wouldn't do on the first round, because it'd be like a garage sale, mate, out the front of Ellen Road with the players that we've got. I know I was on the final word last night with you and the lads, mate, and I was like, oh God, I don't want Nuno, but that was down to, again, expectations from a week ago, like I said, and I don't particularly like his style of football, but I'd have taken him to come in and keep us in the league and all the rest of it, without a doubt. And I feel one thing I would say is Adam Forshaw can't kick a ball anymore. He made a point when Bielsa was in. He wants to go into football coaching and management. Stand him on the sideline as well. Someone with a bit of Premier League playing experience to help advise Skubz and the gang, because none of them have got it. I genuinely would. Stewie Dallas, if he's not fit yet, stand him on the sideline in a tracksuit. Get them all on there. It will be, though. It'll be the players that save this season now.
And of course.
It'll be that Leeds mentality of, nah, fuck the world, man. We're not going out like this. But I hope, like, a player like Liam Cooper has made his voice really, really heard to those at the top of the club and has told them what an absolute shower they are.
Best mates with Mooney, man. That's what I mean.
No, I can't, mate. A lot of them, mate, they're just absolute pathetic specimens, one and all of them. I've got nothing positive to say about it, mate.
No. I think people hammer me for this, but I think we're down, Chris.
Yeah, I do as well, mate. I've literally said it on Twitter about 10 minutes ago that we're now probably, apart from maybe Southampton, the favourites to go down for me.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think so. Skubz is great. I'm sure he'll galvanise the players. We saw it against Man United. But if you can't get a bunch of players up for a game against Man United, do you know what I mean? You shouldn't need to get players up for a game against Man United. But what about when it comes to, you know, we all of a sudden go 1-0 down against Everton, against Dycheball, where he just then packs the defence in the midfield? Has Skubz got the coaching prowess and football knowledge and tactical knowledge to make changes that will affect the game and bring us back into it? We don't know, but probably not for me. I'm not over enthused by the subs he's made in the 2 games, to be honest. They've not been positive ones. And again, that's not me slamming Skubz. He's the under-21s coach, you know what I mean? He's a former PE teacher, he is. And I would love him to keep us up and then go to him at the end of the season. You absolute pack of bastards. You better chuck a couple of million quid in my bank account and I'm out because I'm not working for a shit show like this anymore.
I know, right? It's mad. It is mad. It's just, I can't believe they've allowed them. Like the general. So, of course, you know, don't get it twisted, folks. Like, we're going to back Skubz. That's not, we're going to back the team. It's just a case of like, we're in such a precarious position now. And I don't think they probably expected the backlash that they've got. I've seen quite a lot say, look, you know, as much as we all love Skubz, and I said myself, like after Man United, if he beats them, you know, Skubz till end of season and that. But when you actually sit back and think about it, it's like, wow. Like, keep making that comparison of like a top company, you know, I don't know, let's say bloody Vodafone or whatever, just saying to someone who's answering phones here, you go do that job for a bit, will you? That's what it is like. And I feel like I'm being harsh on Skubala here, but this is the Premier League, man. Like, it's not. Do you know what worries me as well, mate? Like Man United, even under Jesse, we played well, you know, against better teams. When the emphasis on us to break teams down and that, it'll be interesting to see how Skubala does this, and he might have a quality plan, and we're all like, what were we worried about? But yeah, I don't know, mate.
I don't think it's harsh on Skubz, mate. And the reason is like I said, I feel sorry for him because I think they're making him a scapegoat, and it's not fair on the man. I'd love him to do well. It's not that I haven't got faith in him because I don't know what he's going to offer yet. Yeah,
of course.
I haven't got faith in those muppets at the top of the club making the right decision either way. I think they're just an absolute bag of chances, a lot of them. It's horrendous management of a business, a football club, whichever way we want to swing it. It's horrendous management from what is essentially a CEO and his couple of directors.
Yeah.
And they can't manage it. This is a Premier League football club. A Premier League football club for now. This is what's going on. I mean, they made the right decision, like you said. I think you said, like, they've been tapping up Jesse for about 18 months.
That's what I'm saying.
But they thought, and I said it again the other night, mate, they thought they could go out, click the fingers, and someone would go, ooh, the Premier League, and we'll come skipping. And it doesn't work like that when you're 17th. It doesn't work like that. I'm not even sure Nuno would have come. He's on big money out there. I know it's the Saudi Arabian league, and you know, he'll be on big cash out there, joint top of the league. It's just an absolute They thought they would get Carlos. This is what it comes down to. They thought Carlos was nailed on.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
They could bully him into the contract that they wanted, and Carlos would bend over and take it. And I'm actually pleased for Carlos. He didn't, and he stood his ground. Fair play.
Definitely. Jay put a super chat in earlier. He says, I feel for Skubz. I think me and Chris echo that sentiment. I hope he does well, but like you, Joe, I'm worried. Maybe after Shroud, they're waiting on sign-off from the 49ers for Nuno. No, I don't think that's the case, mate. To be honest, it's mad. I'm not sure if 49ers have got really any involvement in this part of proceedings. It doesn't look like it to me. It looks very much Victor and Rads. And listen, Rads only pulled the Shrouded deal because of fan reaction. They probably thought this would be met with glowing support, but it hasn't been the case. My good friend Dave says, come on, Joe, Skubz is better than Marsh. We've seen that already. We'll be okay. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. I'm just a little bit worried. Malcolm said it wouldn't matter who came in. Get behind the man. Joe, you're so negative. Come on. That's not true, is it, bro? Like, it would matter who came in, because if Guardiola came in, if, I don't know, any manager you want, let's not pretend it wouldn't matter who came in. I do get behind Skubz, the man. I will support the team. What do you want me to do? Like, if you're expecting me to be positive after this shit show of 9 days, when you've got Southampton, for example, again, people try and bend over backwards to support our board, saying, oh, I'd rather they made the right decision than just bringing someone in. And I kept saying, no, they were about to appoint someone. They were about to do it if it weren't for the fans' reaction. So let's not give them give them any sort of praise, man, in this scenario. I'm grateful for what they've done to get us here, but for the last 18 months, it's been an absolute shit show. It's gone from bad to worse.
At board level, it's been longer than that, mate. Let's be honest. They made an appointment, and Marcelo Bielsa covered their asses for three and a bit years, mate. Let's be brutally honest. Let's go all the way back. Badgegate, bringing in what's that bloody? Is it Socios or something that they've got?
Socios, yeah. Bloody hell.
That it's the other managerial appointments. Bielsa covered their backsides, man, for 3 seasons, because he got the best out of a very average group of players for a long time, including the first season back in the Premier League, where he got more than enough out of them, let's be honest. And they thought, finishing 9th, they were like, pipe and slippers time. We've landed, boys. We don't need to do anything. Let's carry on normal jogging. And they've been trying to play catch up ever since, and doing it badly, really badly.
Do you know what the funniest thing is the sack of the board, telling everyone to shush and that. We haven't won a game since, bro.
No, it's pathetic, mate. It's, again, if you're at the top of a company, not everyone will like you, right? Because you're going to make decisions that people don't like, but you don't then go down to the people at the end of the day are partly responsible for paying your bleeding wages by buying tickets and merchandise and all the rest of it, and go gobbing off at them. Shut your mouth, grow up. And I know sometimes with Victor, we've all been like, yeah, like you said last night, yeah, he gets it. It's all really good when things are going well and we're getting promoted or whatever. It's a right laugh with these binoculars. But when it's going wrong, it's time to shut up, go away, and get on with your job.
Yeah.
And prove the fans wrong, not prove us right, like they're doing right now, that they're a bunch of absolute chances. It's disgusting management of a football club at the highest level. Laughing stock, mate. I thought the days of us being a laughing stock were behind us.
Unfortunately not, is it? Unfortunately not, man. And I just don't know where we go from here. I'm sort of resigned to the fact, mate, and that's my first time, genuinely. I know everyone says I'm negative and that, but like, this is my first time since being back in the Premier League that I've actually gone, I think we might go down. If Everton beat us at Goodison Park, then what, bro? Like, then what? We're in the relegation zone, man.
It's done, mate. And I'll tell you what else will happen as well if we get beat by Everton. And it won't be aimed at Skubz. It'll get toxic. Really toxic.
Will it?
The game against Southampton. You imagine Jesse Marsh stood in the opposition dugout.
Oh, God, man.
And, Southampton go 1-0 up or something. Imagine. It'll be horrible. We're back in the Chelino days then.
100%.
Fan revolt, mate, and it will be a horrible, horrible place to be. and you know they've brought it on themselves. They've brought it on themselves. They've got no fingers to point anywhere else but in the mirror at themselves.
Yeah. I think, you're right, mate. I was saying, I was on one Leeds earlier and just like tongue in cheek, but can you imagine Southampton winning and Jesse fist bumping the Saints fans next to Southampton? That it's just going to get toxic quick.
And you know he'll do it, mate. You know
100%. 100%. It'll be 2 fingers up. 100%. Because I think he was genuinely surprised he got the boot.
Yeah, I think he genuinely thought he was doing a
he was nice.
Job.
He would be all right. I think he thought he had the full backing, and obviously that wasn't the case. But oh God, it's just one thing after another, isn't it, bro? I wonder what the 49ers are thinking. What is their involvement in this?
I'd love to know. And this is what I mean, mate. He's all right chirping off on Twitter saying stupid stuff. Actually put a club statement out explaining who's making the decisions and what the process is. And, you know, we don't need to know every gory detail, but something. Like they've just open-ended Skubz here. And if he goes and loses, or if he goes and loses the next 2 games, it'll be like, oh, you're shite, and they'll bring someone else in. The fans will be dead thankful they've brought anybody in who's got any management experience at all, and we'll still go down. We were going down under Jesse. I said it before he was sacked. And this is why people are saying, oh, you thought we're going down under Jesse and, you know, Skubz is better. We don't know if Skubz is better yet.
No.
We don't know, because we've all this season we've done well. We've played well against the big teams. Has he got the tactical nous to get us through what will be a horrible scruffy game like Everton and Southampton?
Yeah. This is the thing, and as well, Chris, the board have made it worse for themselves by Radrazani tweeting. If he hadn't have done that, and not fed stupid things to journalists as well, like saying that, you know, to Fabrizio Romano, it was never close and that. It's like, come on, do you think we're thick? Do you think we haven't got brain cells? That he was at the game with his brother and all that sort of stuff? Do you think we don't know this?
Dick
and you're
Shredder.
saying, yeah, man, it was never close. It's like, come on, man.
It's arrogance of the highest level, mate. I'm not going to lie. They do think we're thick. They think they're better than the average fan in the ground, and we know nothing, and we're just a bunch of gobshites, you know. And I genuinely think they think that. And do you know what, mate? I wish people like Kinnear and Orta would see these videos, because I'd love Victor Orta to pick the phone up to me and invite me down to Ellen Road, because fuck me, I'd have a right do with him. Right do, because he's been absolutely stealing a living now for quite a long time.
He has, man, and the condescending nature of which Angus spoke to us in programme notes and all that. Yeah,
it's and you know, it goes all the way back to the Forshaw tweet and stuff like that. And again, that's throwing Adam Forshaw under a bus.
Yeah.
It's not right, mate. The lad was coming back from a horrific injury, and Rads is selling him like a new signing. Like, oh, it's all right, we've got Adam Forshaw.
And he's injured again, isn't he, bro?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The white smoke tweet, man. What the hell? And then Angus...
Just don't do it. And then Angus making a joke of it.
In the programme notes, because they knew they were getting Shrouder at that point, bro. We're close. Yeah. And then the fans have gone boom. So where was that manager that you were close to? And then they told us that Shrouder was never close via Fabrizio Romano. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
We know Rads is feeding Fabrizio Romano.
Of course, man.
Info. It's bang obvious, mate. It's the lot of them, mate. And that, you know, like you, I've met Angus on a few occasions, and outside of Leeds, he seems a perfectly
nice.
Perfectly nice bloke. But at the end of the day, mate, if I don't do my job properly, I get heaved out of the company. And this lot aren't doing the job properly. So
it's mental.
I can't believe in 18 months from finishing 9th in the Premier League that we're here now with this.
I know. They've screwed us, haven't they, man? This is what I'm saying. Just bad decision after bad decision. You know, even the fact the owner, man, is saying it's impossible for us to go down. Do you know what I mean? Impossible, he said.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Angus said it in the past, didn't he? You know, we're not dicking around with.
With the player.
Yeah. Rad's with his. It's impossible for us to be in a relegation battle. Just don't say it. This is the stuff that people clip up or take screenshots of, and in 12 months' time go, now then, gobshite. It's just stupid. It's. I just got a laugh, man. Honestly. Because I could genuinely lose my rag with it. Like, Leeds fans are a different breed, right? We don't just support a football club. We love this football club with everything we've got. We pour our heart and souls into it, whether it be content creators, ticket holders, people around the globe who tune in at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch their week in, week out. And you've got four. I'm going to include Mooney again. 4 absolute chances at the top of this football club, making an absolute mockery of it. A mockery of us and a mockery of the football club. And I don't know if the 49ers have just gone, we've delayed it 6 months. Let's just see what happens. And we'll come back in the summer. And if they survive, we'll take over and do it properly or what. But
probably take over Southampton, bro.
By Southampton out, Team Jesse.
I can't cope, man. I can't cope. Like, are you confident we'll get something at the weekend? I predicted.
I think the worst thing that can happen, mate, is Everton go 1-up, because we ain't scoring if they go 1-up.
No.
And probably the worst thing to happen for us is they were a bit humble last night in the Merseyside derby. So Dyche will get a response out of them.
Yeah.
If they'd have got a draw at Anfield or whatever, they'd have been a bit buzzing and maybe gone a bit, a bit lighter in the week and all the rest of it. They'll be eager to bounce back now. I'd love, again, like you said, mate, I'd love us to get 6 points out the next 2 and Skubz look like a tactical genius and us all take a breath and go, all right, maybe Skubz has got enough with the
I'm still not giving the credit to the board, though, I'll tell you that. No.
Because this isn't a plan.
Exactly.
This is a flat panic. So they don't deserve any credit.
No.
They're creating a scapegoat, but trust me, if Skubz does it, they'll all be out. They'll all be out.
Can you imagine Victor second the board?
They'll all be out there. Rads will be giving his phone back by whoever's confiscated it, and he'll be tweeting again.
Yeah, quote tweeting people and that. I told you relax, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, man. Oh, no. They've proper. Do you know what the mad thing is as well? It's like, to go back 18 months, like you said, this fan base has never been more aligned ever, in my opinion. Well, while I've been alive, anyway, it's never been more aligned, bro. You had everyone just like loving each other. The place was so happy. I put that down to one man, but what I'm saying is that's what it was like, right? Murals going up around the city, everything's amazing, And in 18 months, what they've done is just absolutely wrecked all of that, man.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, at Southampton at home, if we get beat, it could get nasty.
Yeah.
Like, nasty. Fans were fighting each other away in the last away game. I forget who was it we got. Was it Villa? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Was it? They were fighting anyway. They were fighting each other, people. If you don't think you're going to get... Because the mad thing is, the atmosphere was bouncing again for Man United, not only because you're playing Man United, but they've sacked Jesse. We're getting linked to all these names. By doing this now, if we get... Honestly, they haven't got a clue when to say it. Rads is a bit of a media mogul. It blows my mind.
Yeah, man.
It blows my mind.
It's just ridiculous, mate. Like you say, it will get toxic, like beyond toxic. I genuinely think... And the problem is when the fans are so angry, the only place to really vent it in the ground is at each other. And that's why they end up knocking lumps out of each other. It's going to get like that. I do fear that, mate. And it was down to one man. I had my issues with Bielsa at the end of his tenure. I've never shirked away from that. But that man brought that football club and the city together. There's no one can deny that. Like you say, murals going up around the city. We've got Marcelo Bielsa Way in the Trinity. You can never underestimate what that man did for the football club. And the whole conversation was Marcelo's put the foundations in. we're now going to build on that. No, what you've done or what you're doing is taking a massive JCB to those foundations and ripping them right out the ground. Yeah. And you're actually making a mockery of the 3.5 years work that man put into the football club as well. What must he be thinking? Sat back at home going, what the fuck is going on at that football club? Because it was clear he loved Leeds. He got Leeds. He got it. He did. Again, I've always, I stuck my chest out and I said what I said about him at the end, but that wasn't any reflection on the man.
You know what I mean? I understand. No, 100% I get that. You know what I mean?
And I think the way they're treating the football club now is a shocking reflection on the work that he did to get us back to where we were.
And not only that, they've obviously screwed him in another sense as well, because the guy won't even return Radrazani's calls. To
something more's gone on than we know about.
100%.
Something more has gone on. I think they've scapegoated him. Yeah. I think they've used that line, and I took it in for a while.
Yeah, you do. Don't want players. Yeah, exactly.
Don't want players. He wants a small squad. I think they scapegoated him as well, mate.
100%. Of course they did. And
there's a common denominator in everything that goes wrong at this club.
Yes,
and it's that lot.
Yes, 100%, man. And listen, some realised it before. Some have told me about it, and I've backed him. I'm just realising now. We all find out at different points. But you're right, man. They did, and they knew that Bielsa would never call them out. He never did.
No,
he never did.
Mate, he won't call the referee out, so he's not going to call the owners of the football club out, is he? The man's got principles, and I wish he didn't. Now, I wish he'd do a warts and all documentary sat from a big armchair in Rosario. Just subtitles on, just calling them all an absolute bag of you-know-whats.
Yeah, it's mad.
Telling us what happened, because something more did go on. For him,
100%. For him to not answer the calls, bro.
A man of principle and honour and all the rest of it, to just flat ignore him because they want to name the training ground after him. Oh, you absolute heroes, you.
I know, yeah.
Have a word.
I know. Michael Pollard says, big problem is our board of businessmen. They haven't seen a return on their investment. Football on the field operations, they know nothing about it. Steve says, Carragher said Everton was the worst run club in the country. I wonder if he still thinks that. Listen, we're run bad, but that's a shit show. But listen, even they had the foresight to bring in a man who's, gives them a big chance of staying up.
Stay up.
I think so. They haven't gone, we'll just give it the under-21s coach. Do you know what I mean? Because the Everton fans wouldn't have had that. I don't know. Do we need to do more? I think we did enough with regards to the Shroud thing, but it's mad, man. It's
more will happen if the next two games don't go right. It will, because the fans will get to a point. Like, it's funny what football does, because us British people generally are quite happy to sit back and just get absolutely slammed, right? Whether it be by the government or whatever. Yeah. We have a good moan about it online and all the rest of it, but no one really ever does anything about it. Or we won't go out if it's raining. But football hits differently, and especially at Leeds. And the Leeds fans will get to a point where they're like, nah, we'll be having Rads chased out the ground in a taxi.
Yeah, no, it's true. It could happen, bro. It could happen, man.
It will happen, mate. I'm telling you now, it is. And do you know what? Again, with YouTube and content creators like yourself and Connor, Lewis, and everyone else, it might come to a point, mate, where us as content creators have to come together and come up with a plan, because we do have a voice, not directly to the club,
of course,
but with the fan base, because it's. And I'm not advocating everyone going out and rioting before anyone clips that up and going, Chris is going to go down with his knuckle dusters and start. But we need to have our voice heard, because clearly they don't listen to us. I know about obviously the Twitter went mental. That was mental over the Shroud potentially coming in. But it needs to be and Badgegate, and it'll be next level of that, because this is the future of the football club now. It really is. It could be that bad. Because if the 49ers turn and hightail it, mate, Rads is a skint chancer now. He hasn't got the money to rebuild a football club, or, when we have a quick fire sale and sell everyone cheap, because we'll have to, because we'll need to clear the wage bill. He hasn't got the money to repair it, mate. And we're not going to get another Marcelo Bielsa who comes in and just does a job management-wise with a half-assed group of players. That time's come and gone.
I'm just having a look now at some of the comments on, in reaction to into Leeds' tweet. And again, a lot of it's like, love Skubala, but, you know, we're so poorly run. We deserve a genuine explanation and apology. If we get relegated, do we get a refund on the owners completely fucking us over? If you want to stay up, get Nuno now, someone says. You know, not even Nuno. Rafa's not working, bro. Why are you not going to go get Rafa?
Just get someone with
exactly.
some management experience who's been there and done it, because poor Skubz hasn't.
Yeah.
I predict, mate, that Skubz will do a Jesse Marsh level of aging over the next couple of months.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree with you there. Beth says absolutely nothing against Skubala, but we're an embarrassment. I'm behind Skubz, but the hierarchy have made this an absolute shambles. Victor Orta should be struck off. Absolutely useless. Yourself, clearly a top bloke, but this is piss poor from the club. Zero planning. What a farce. And I will say this, like, anybody that wants to, after the fact, if we get results, go, you said this isn't on Skubala. I hope he gets results, but I will not give this board any credit for this, because they've just stumbled on it. Helen says, Marcelo covered all their mistakes. They also hated the power he had because it damaged their egos. That's bang on as well, probably. You know what I mean? Rads wants to be looked.
It wouldn't surprise me, mate, because they got none of the, or very little of the credit. And they didn't deserve very much of the credit. Apart from actually bringing him in, they didn't do very much. Yeah. They backed in with training ground changes and, you know, and philosophy of the club. But you can do that without having to spend an awful lot of money. You know, a couple of million on moving some plug sockets and putting some beds in and stuff. That's and a running track. That's all great. That's pennies for them. And and I think they were probably, certainly someone like Victor was probably a little bit upset that he wasn't getting more credit from the fans.
Yeah, it's mad. It is mad because it's so true, isn't it? Like he's got too much credit. We'll sort this out. Like, my God. Like, not only have they got this wrong as well, they kept Jesse in his position far too long. If they'd have sacked him before World Cup, mate, would have been nice. Wolves did it. Villa did it. Look at them now.
I'm guaranteeing you now, mate, one of those top managers that we were going out for would have come. Definitely. At that point.
Definitely. But for whatever reason, I put it down to Victor's ego. They kept faith. They then spent all that money in January. And then one game after January, they boot him. I think it was the right decision to get rid of him. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, if you're going to back him that much, you might as well have tried to keep your nerve. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I wish they didn't. You know, I'm not trying to go back on what I've said. He should have gone way sooner for me. You know, way sooner. But, you know, there will be some that will say, man, you gave him one game after you know, backing him so much. I don't know, but it just shows they haven't got Scooby-Doo, man.
Timing shocking, mate. It should have been before the transfer window, you know, end of the world, but during the World Cup period. This clearly isn't working, blah, blah, blah. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming. And, you know, you go and get a Unai Emery or someone like that. And, you know, you then move. He spends the money he wants to spend in the transfer window with the players he wants. It's a very different outlook. It's just no foresight, no planning, no nothing. It's just reaction. It's reactionary, mate. It's not proactive. It's reactive to everything.
Yeah. And I can't. Do you know what I can't? Because this is what I mean. Like, I take things too personally. Like with the anger stuff in the program notes, that really angered me. What I keep seeing now on social media, and it's done the same, is sack of the board. Yeah. I can't get it out of my head because for them this is a job, right? Of course, their salaries and all that sort of stuff. But for me, it means so much more, bro. It means so much more. I'm not trying to make out. I'm like, check me. Genuinely, this club has the power, and maybe I shouldn't allow it to have that power, but it has the power to affect my mood.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just so down, bro. I'm so down right now after this.
It's savage, mate. Leeds United, for most Leeds United fans, let's take out the prawn sandwich brigade who might be gone in a couple of months. Do you know what I mean? If we get relegated, but it's
the old Southampton fans now as well. A load of them.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, it's our escape, mate. You know, northern people are generally, you know, the fans more local. I know we've got fans all around the world, and I'm not talking down on them, but Leeds is by roots is a working class city, as is the north of England. And people work hard to earn their money to be able to go and watch their football club that they love. It's an escape, and it's a reward for all the hard work and stuff you put in through the week. That's fundamentally what it comes down to. And yeah, it's just a wage to them, or a way to earn money. For Rads, it's a way to flip cash. He buys us for so much, and his vision, and he was getting it right for so long because of one managerial appointment, was he'd eventually flip us for 10 times what he paid for us, and he'd be off on his jolly way with a bit of a profit. And do you know what I mean? But it's so much more, and especially Leeds fans. And I know every club's got its hardcore base, but it feels like 90% of Leeds fans are that hardcore base, and it hurts, man. It really does. And that's why, we come on these streams, and sometimes you look back at things you've said and you go, oh, why did I say that? But it's passion, man. It does affect your mood. I've said stupid things. I'll flash back to Brentford at home when Bamford scored in the last minute, and I was fuming. I'd had enough. I wanted everything done about the club. I sat there and raged, but it was just how I felt at the time, and it's because of that 90 minutes and the whole build-up to it. It means everything to me. Nothing else matters in that 90 minutes when I'm stood on the terraces or sat watching Leeds United. It does. I hate us having a Friday night game, because if we lose, my weekend's absolutely done. It's done. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's bloody good. I've just finished work, watched a late night football game now. I just want to go to sleep till Monday morning. Yeah. It's horrible, mate. And when you see people basically taking the piss out of that, which is what I feel they're doing now, it's just not good, mate. I think they're treating us like mugs, mate. I do.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. And there's still people, there's a guy that just constantly responds to me on Twitter. And obviously I've changed my profile pic to the 3 amigos with the red cross through it. And his genuine response is this the new agenda then? Not happy with just taking Jesse Marsh out, going for the board as well? Are you an Everton fan in disguise? It's them sort of people that I go, are you fucking batshit crazy? Do you know what the problem is here? Is it, do you genuinely give honestly, the mind boggles. It's just mental. It's embarrassing. It's so poor. Mismanagement, bro. Negligence.
Negligence is the word, mate. And I know, Connor uses that word a lot, talking about Leeds and the board. And it is. I've just changed my picture to the same one, mate. So I'll get the same barrage now. All in and tweet it. Yeah, go.
Yeah, and tweet it. Therefore,
it's gross negligence, mate, on running a business. But whichever dimension you look at it from, a football club or a business, it's negligence, mate, and it's horrific.
For anyone wanting to know, this is what my new profile picture is. I implore you to do the same as well. Sack of the board. That's what I'm going to be saying now. Ending every stream, starting every stream with sack of the board, because that's what we were told. Honestly, man, it's just so disappointing.
It's just a farce, isn't it? Farcical.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is. Gabe, big up to you, Gabe. Just been with Gabe as well. He said most depressing Valentine's Day ever. It is it's literally what's his name? The Valentines Day Massacre. What's his name? The gangster. Chicago. What's he called? Someone let me know in the chat. Oh man, it's doing me head in. I've read about it and everything. Chicago gangster will come up because he was the man. Someone let me know, man. What was his name? Al Capone. That was it. Al Capone. Everyone knows. Yeah, it's Al Capone settings. It's the Valentine's Day Massacre.
I've been in his old cell at Alcatraz.
Oh, really?
Place. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's an eerie place. Yeah. When I lived out there, mate, I went up to San Fran, went to Alcatraz.
Oh, wow.
Weird place.
That'd be amazing.
I do feel like we've got our own sort of gangsters at the top of this football club.
Definitely, mate. We have, haven't we? Do you know what's going to be mad? If he gets results, I genuinely believe Victor will have some sort of video. If we beat Everton and beat Southampton at home, he'll be doing it again. Saka the ball.
He will, mate. He's that sure of himself, and he's that arrogant that he would.
Yeah.
He genuinely, and Angus would be being snotty in the programme notes again, and Rads would be back on Twitter pissed up on Pinot Grigio, giving everyone absolute levels of abuse.
Quote tweeting and that.
Yeah, you know what had come. And do you know what, mate? I'm here for it because it means that Skubz is doing well with the boys, and I'd love to see it because I think they'd have a shock, mate, this time if they tried it, because I don't think there'll be many out there defending them. You get your little group who still do, who think... What does my head in, mate? Like, you've got the things that trigger you is those people that go, Leeds fans have got a short memory. No, I haven't. I remember it all. I remember it. I remember Chilino and Ridsdale and all that. And I don't want to go back to that. And I'm watching it happen slowly.
Yeah. That's what everyone used to say, isn't it? Like, oh, what do you want us to be like, Ridsdale? Because we wanted to buy a player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You want Chilino back? No, when I ever said I want Chilino back?
Yeah, exactly.
I want the people who run the football club to do it properly. That's all.
Radby Leeds with the super chat. Cheers, bro. He says, agree, this is negligent from the board. I feel the worst versus Everton at this point. Simply cannot imagine what manager we're going to get. We're lost. We're not going to get one, bro. The only way Leeds United now get a manager is if Skubala loses these next two.
Yeah.
If we get beat, say, 2-0 comfortably against Everton, they'll probably panic at that point and go, do you know what, Nuno, here's your money. When really they should be doing it anyway. It shouldn't be based on Skubala, maybe. Like Chris keeps saying, this isn't a plan. This isn't a plan. This is just, no one else wants us. We still want him in the summer, so let's just gamble on this guy. Let's give it this fall guy. You just have to get rid of your principles. I'm sorry. Get rid of this opinion that we need to play this 100% attractive brand of football all the time. Bring someone in who's going to show us up and get us up the table. Because say what you want about Nuno, he got Wolves 2 7th place finishes and also got him into a European quarterfinal.
You know what, mate? They've done what, like we said last night, where I said if a week ago Nuno had been mentioned, he'd have been underwhelming, right? Whereas now I'm like, people in the comments going, "Would you take Ralph Hasenhüttl?" I'm like, I'd take his wife right now as manager. To be fair, I'd take anyone, and. I mean, Hasenhüttl might be a stretch too far because it's Red Bull football again, but just someone. There are managers out there. There are. And it doesn't have to be a Big Sam or a Hasenhüttl. There are managers who would do a job. I have, in 24 hours, I am all aboard the Nuno train now because I'm like, Jesus, the man, he's got a tactical plan. I might not be 100% sold on his style or whatever else, but he would get us the points, right? So probably. So
yeah. So
they've done it on me, mate, now, because they're like just announced Skubz, and I'm like, oh my God, I'd genuinely take the tea lady, I think. It's not a reflection on Skubz. I know that sounds like it, but I feel really sorry for Skubz, man. I hope we win the next two. I really do. But like you say, no credit will be going anywhere but towards the players and Skubz.
Yeah, no, not for me. It's mad.
Yeah, but like someone's just mentioned Lee Bowyer. Someone.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I mean. Just someone. The worry is as well, like, it is that thing of Skubala's a PE teacher, Skubala's a futsal coach. And of course, you know, someone said to me earlier as well, who does a bit of coaching, said like, players initially will respond to a new guy. That's why we have a new manager bounce, right? Because it's clearly whatever you say, it weren't going well under Jesse. And the reason I say that is because still no one's come out and thanked him. He's not said anything.
It wasn't going well.
Cooper didn't even say anything in his program notes, and that's the captain. And we know how loyal Cooper is in that. So not one person has said anything. No. So for them to have a change and them feel good again, they're coming in, they're playing with a bit of weight, they're having their voices heard more by Skubala, playing Man United, naturally. But that only can last so long. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's my worry as well.
We go out and take a couple of losses next, and the players will soon be like, "Oh no, And heads drop, mate. It's natural in anything. If things aren't going well, your head drops. It does. It's a natural human emotion, and that is why, like you said, new manager bounces happen because the players are like something different. Let's give it a go. Let's get behind the man. But it won't take long, and it wouldn't be them turning on Skubz because I think they'll work for Skubz, but I just don't. Yeah, they'll just start believing. Winning becomes a habit, losing becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, and sacking Jesse was the right thing to do. It was done at the wrong time. It should have been done earlier. Just look at the form table since August and how anyone can argue that Jesse should still be in the Leeds job is beyond me.
Mad. Yes, it's mad. It's mad. And people saying nothing's changed and all that sort of stuff. I don't agree with that either. And just look at the way we defended in games. It's just totally different.
Very different off the ball, mate, in how we press, how we defend. Yeah. And actually slightly different in transition where anyone with two eyes can see that the players have been given more room to play.
Of course. And I listened to the T4 podcast the other day and they were talking about Jesse and his tenure and him potentially going to Southampton. And they mentioned how it was the same at Leipzig. Basically, he was unable to create attacks without making them defensively weak. So if you look at all our attacks, though, we were always susceptible in transition. Yeah. That's why when we'd have a corner, we'd always be like one man, you know what I mean, or two men. And they said it was the same at Leipzig, that the way that he generated his attacks, he just couldn't sort it so that they weren't defensively weak at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas someone like, I don't know, let's say Sean Dyche, for example, will make sure they're defensively sound that kind of way. I don't know, but it's just hearing that it made sense. Like,
Jesse is the victim of his own success because he managed in the Austrian league where he could have sent him out in a 2-2, 2-2-8 formation or 2-2-6 formation, and they'd have won because it was a Red Bull team in the Austrian league with cash behind him. And then he went to Leipzig. It fell on its backside. He came to Leeds. And if you get found out at Leipzig, you're going to get found out in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. And he did. The tactics were awful. It was, as we labelled it a few weeks ago on the final word, it was pure anxiety FC watching us play. And I don't get that same anxiety watching the two games that Skubz has managed. The press is more controlled. There seems to be a trigger of, let them come over the halfway line. When they come over the halfway line or they go into midfield, then we press. Then we know. Not just, they've got the ball, run after them. It was almost playground football at times under Jesse, mate. There was like 8 players chasing the same ball around in 10 yards of space. It was mental.
Yeah, mad.
It's absolutely spun, man.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I just don't know where we go from here now. Like, obviously, what day are we on today? It's Tuesday, innit? Wednesday, and then Thursday will be the press conference. See what, see what he's got to say. And again, Skubala will do great in the press conference and all that sort of stuff. Maybe, same. I just hope, like...
You know what he should have done, mate? Jesse should have sent him out to do press conferences when he was in charge.
Yeah. Oh man, honestly, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. It's mad. Hopefully, something changes, Chris. And well, no, I don't know. I just don't know. Like I'm saying, something changes. It feels like I'm having a go at Skubz there. I'm not. No. We just need to. I tell you where we're at, and I said same last season. Under Jesse, we're at the praying stage. We're at the miracle stage now. It's hoping and praying that Leeds United can come through this, get to the 1st of July, and then on the 1st of July,
announced.
Well, they're gone, aren't they? They're gone. It might not even be Iriola. Big up to Nuno. It might. I love that picture of that Bruno Fernandes dude. But at that point, at that point, I think the 49ers take over, you know what I mean, at the 1st of July, if we're still in the Premier League, at which point, you might... This is what I don't even understand. What's to say that Iriola will be there, man? Do you know what I mean? I haven't really thought about that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think, it's a game of pray and survive now.
Yeah.
Like you say, then the 49ers group come in, big money behind them. We've got some big investors alongside them. And we could probably go out and cherry pick, from 90% of the managers out there then. Fresh season, chance to bring their own players in, transfer window with some money in it, and they can shape it to how they want. I mean, it could be anyone, couldn't it? But I think they'd go big. I think they'd go big. I think they'd go for a marquee manager signing.
Yeah, same. I think so as well. I just wish they could get their hands on it now. Do you know what I mean? I just wish they could get their hands on it now. I just wish because,
Die surely has been getting planned. He does, but it's one that tends to work sometimes. Most of the time.
Yeah. Big up to Gabe as well. We've had another super chat from Colin who says, "Will Chris Armas invite Marsh to the suite for a glass of wine at Ellen Road? We need to throw him out." It's going to be so mad, that isn't it? Him rocking up at Ellen Road. The players, they'll be so emotionally invested in that game because I don't care what anyone says, it's not been good behind the scenes. Clearly,
Mate, you only have to see Marich's tweet, don't you, to know that it's not been good behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what we're
going to go down, mate, because it might be going off.
What's that say?
Going to go down onto the game because it might.
Imagine, yeah,
it might go off.
I can't. Yeah, I couldn't even be near them, man. I'd say I would get it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, I would genuinely, tell them straight, like to give them my opinion, if you like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would love them to drop a message to a group of us or whatever and say, let's get you on a conference call then, and let's chat this out. We'll tell you a bit more about what's been going on, and let's chat this out and see if we can get some agreement between us. Because it'd be absolute murder.
I'd love him to come on here. Can you imagine?
Oh, mate. Absolute scenes.
Oh, God.
Imagine. I just... I mean, they've done it on certain things when things have been going well, haven't they? Angus has been out and been on certain stuff, wasn't he? Did he do the square ball at one point?
Yeah, he did, yeah. And we were really good at questioning him. No, they were... Yeah. Mad. Mikey B says, "Hi Joe, your channel is the best. The Everton game at the weekend is massive. Thank you very much, Mikey B. Thanks for the love and support." It's massive, innit? I'll be doing a watch along for the game. We'll be doing previews. We'll do the final word. Oh God, just please win. Just for my sanity, for the club, forever. We've got to win, bro. Like, do you know what? I'd even go as far as to say at this stage, mate, I would take a point.
I think I'd take a point at Everton as long as we then beat Southampton, because Everton aren't going to be a pushover, man.
No. Yeah.
But I do, even if we only got a point, and then again Southampton come to us under Jesse and go 1-up. I dread to think, mate. I dread to think. They'd have to turn the cameras off, wouldn't they? Because there'd just be all sorts going on the ground. It'd be absolute carnage. Tim Thornton post Sky Sports. Tim would be in the middle of it going, "Oh no, I don't want to be here."
Yeah.
Outside the Billy statue like that. No.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just don't know what we're gonna do, bro.
I mean, I'm just looking at Andy's comment there with the list of players, and I think everyone on that list, bar maybe 2, would be gone in the summer. Gone.
Yeah.
If we go down. And not for the kind of money that they're worth either.
No. It's like Melier goes, Luke Ayling stays.
Yeah.
Koch goes.
Yeah.
Vauban. Do you think Vauban goes? Yeah. Vauban goes. Yeah. We probably keep Firpo. We're never shaking.
We never get in the gym.
Firpo stays. Shroud maybe stays because he's not had a great season.
Yeah, I think Pascal probably benefit for a season in the Championship as much as it's not a reason to go down. But
the midfield's gone.
Oh yeah, God,
McKennie, Adams, and Rocket all gone. So that's a rebuild process. Yeah. Nonto goes. Cini goes. Somerville goes.
Yeah.
Jack Harrison goes.
Yeah.
Bamford stays. Bamford stays.
Rodrigo probably goes with the season he's had.
Yeah. We'll literally be this is the facts, yeah. Like, as no people hate me for talking about the big man and that, right? But genuinely, it would just be us when he first came in with Cooper, with Ayling, with Bamford. It'd be the same heads. And we'd all be going, was the last 3 years like a figment of our imagination because we're back here? Do you know what I mean?
There'd be Forshaw on one leg. Stuart Dallas would be 83 years old, still charging around the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
It's Coops and mate, honestly, you know, and it would be like you'd wake up and go, did I have some kind of accident? I've been in a coma for 4 years.
I've been in a coma, man. That's it, though. Oh, Matthew says, best £10 I've ever spent. Sack of the board. Exactly, bro. Sack of the board, indeed. But that is mad, isn't it, to think that we could literally be in the exact same position that the man took us over with.
Yeah. And like I say, mate, it's ripping everything up that he did. It's destroying it, mate. And whether you were pro Bielsa at the end as manager or not, no one wants to see what he built destroyed. And that's what's happening. And it's fucking sad, mate. That's what it is. It's
every opportune moment to make a decision, they've always got it wrong.
Yeah, cocked it up, mate.
Apart from Bielsa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And let's be honest, mate, when they first talked about Bielsa, it was just a pipe dream that Orta had.
It was, They
never thought they didn't think they were going to get him.
Yeah.
They chanced their arm and he went, I quite like the sound of that project. Yeah. I've watched 953 of your games since yesterday afternoon. Let's have a go. Click's the best football can get into any team in Europe. And Calvin's a number 4. Let's do it. Let's have it.
Yeah.
And they must have honestly, when he agreed it, gone, fucking hell, we got away with one there, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mad.
They didn't think they were getting him, mate. It was a comment. I'm sure it was a comment that Orta said to Rads during a car ride.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. God, yeah. Let's get Costa back. Dan James. Who else could we? Tyler Roberts. Yeah, man. Tyler Roberts. He can come back and that.
Ian Paveda.
Shaqs. Man. Yeah.
Let's go again.
Yeah. Creswell. We're all there, man. Yeah.
Jesus.
Job's fucked, in it, really.
Yeah. You know what? Bring that racist Kiko back as well. Let's have a real good go at it.
It's mad, isn't it, man? God. Oh, God. I don't know. Listen, we'll see, innit? Rad's been on the Pinot Noir. I want to hear from him. I want to hear from Rads and his white smoke tweet. Come on, where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Where's Victor and all this sort of stuff? I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
No good. Michael Skubala will keep the reins for a bit of time. What's a bit of time? I know that's not that. I'm not paraphrasing there, but I'm not bob on. But they've put no time. If you're gonna give him it, like you said, stick your chest out and go. Michael will be our manager till the end of the season.
Yeah,
regardless.
Honestly,
might as well get Gerald in from Clarkson Farm. What a legend Gerald is.
You know, ultimately, every decision that they've made, like opt against changing it during mid-season, back head coach was signing in January, sack head coach, first game after transfer window, lack of desired interest in role, asking to him to carry on, all while being in the relegation mix. That's what Tom Clanduff had to say, and it's bang on in it. It's just an absolute shit show.
Bang on, mate. They've pretty much got one decision right in, 5-6 years now. One big decision. I'm sure there's lots of little decisions on the business front that have been good, of course, but they've made one big decision, one correct big decision in 6 years or whatever the tenure is now, and that's the answer. And without him, mate, we'd still be where we were. And sadly, it looks like it's potentially the last 3-4 years has been a bit of a waste of time, apart from a bit of cash through the door.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And that's all on them. Listen, I hope. Well, I'm not going to give them any. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to give them any positivity, even if it does go right. And you know, I sort of hope that at the end of the season, Victor is going sack of the board, because that means we've stayed up. So, you know what I mean? I won't agree with it, but
it don't matter, mate, because at the end of the season, it'll be if we stay up, we'll be tacked the board because the 49.
P45, P45 settings. I can't wait, man. I wish I could be there when they go on your bike. We're gonna, you know,
might try and give Parag a shout and like let a few of us in, mate. Do it in public.
Yeah, come on.
Do it on the halfway line in the first pre-season friendly.
I know. Clive. Honestly, I get it. I hear it. I understand. Some people are just like, yeah, no. I do, and I hope Skubala gets results, bro. I do. But promise me, I do. I don't want to feel like this. I'm just, you know, I guess we're being a bit tongue in cheek sometimes and try to laugh because if we don't, we'll cry. But it's not great, bro. It's not great, and it's more so an indictment of the board, you know.
Yeah, I mean? Exactly. It's not on the players or the manager. Manager, we calling him a manager, interim manager. This is all about them, and even the most positive and people call them happy clappers or whatever. The most positive of fans surely have got to admit that this isn't the way you run a football club. It isn't. It isn't the way you run a football club. Even the most positive fans who think we'll stay up, positive will stay up, still surely have got to admit that you don't run a football club like this at any level, never mind at Premier League level.
No, exactly. Tim says nothing is decided yet. Well, it is, bro. He's in charge for next two, by all accounts, unless it goes really tits up. Nathan says, my expectation this year was 15th, ups and downs. Yeah, I mean, so was Rad's, but yeah, impossible to be in this scenario. I don't know, Chris. I think we've rambled on enough. An hour and 15 minutes.
I thought this might be some therapy, but I feel
no, it's not. I said same to Connor. I came off Connor and I said I thought this would help, and it hasn't. It's made it worse. Like, and this is the same because it's actually that realization hitting you in the face, like, oh shit, we're bad.
You know what? And that's what it is, mate. It's the fact that you realize now, with more than just yourself sat thinking it on your own, that a lot of people are thinking the same thing, and that almost like beds it into like, oh no, it's not just me being a bit melodramatic because I've got angry on Twitter. Yeah, it's like this is the general consensus that this is an absolute horror show now, and Whereas, like, when we do final word about a match result, the lads will have different, some of the course, and you go, yeah, I can understand that. Whereas this, everyone's just like, what an absolute cluster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, be interesting to get everyone's thoughts.
Final word will be lit.
yeah, it will. It will. Hopefully, Leeds United can get 3 points, and we can all go, oh, actually, it'll be all right. But I'm not so sure.
Duncan, we are behind Skubz, mate. We are. Let us say one more time. This is us pointing fingers at the people who own the club and run the club, not Skubz.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. With regards to the weekend, mate, give me how many points do we get? I won't ask you for a score prediction. How many points do we get?
Right. Oh, mate, up until today, I was quite positive about it, even if Skubz had been in charge. But this, I don't know. I think it's just giving me a kick. My heart says we go. If we score first, we win. If they score first, we lose. I don't think it'll be a draw. I think one or the other wins it, and it's whoever scores first for me. I think the first goal at the weekend is massive. It's massive.
Yeah.
So I'll go with my heart, mate, and say we win 1 or 2-0.
Okay, I think we get 0 points. I think we get 3 from the next 2, and it'll come at home. I think it'll come at home. If you give me 4, I'll be bouncing. If you give me 4, if you give me 6, wow.
Yeah. I'd snap your hand off for 4 points right now.
Yeah. There's enough quality in the squad. I just hope that he can put together the tactical plan. But we'll wait and see, won't we? Folks, smash a like. Subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow Chris over on social media and all Leeds TV as well. Make sure you check him out. Been a lot of love for you tonight in the comments saying you need to set up your own, Chris. You'll have to
I got the time, man.
Working hard, aren't you, bro? You're working hard. Chris will always be on here though. If he's free, I'll always have him on. But listen, everyone, smash a like on the video and we will see you on the other side, folks. Peace.